Hello, Victor here, RestoringMercedes.com. This is the other day, another day for the evaporator replacement on this 95 SL500 R129. So the inside I haven't touched yet. It's just the way it was left from yesterday, all opened up, and I decided to go and disassemble the frontal portion here. Now there are 4 bolts that you have to undo from here. I don't remember exactly if these bolts only hold the blower assembly or they also hold HVAC box, but in any event you take it all apart anyhow so you can get to the hoses that connect to the heater core and windshield coolant circuit. So that has to come out. Those hoses, those pipes, aluminum pipes and rubber hoses. And of course we have the expansion valve. That is the evaporator expansion valve. Now you can unplug it from here, okay, and undo the bolt from here, the nut rather, but the evaporator won't come out because expansion valve is larger than the opening. So expansion valve also has to be undone, removed, and only then the pipes will be thin enough to pass through the opening. Can't really see it. And of course this is the evaporator itself in there, and that is the unit that needs to be replaced. That's the coil, the actual core, evaporator core. All right, so I'll move on with I'm gonna switch the car around so it's easier for me to work inside on it. And I have access now to these pipes and hoses, so I can undo them when I'm ready to pull the HVAC box out. Okay, after a few more hours the box is removed. So this is what you're going to end up with. Just this huge opening here straight to the outside, right? So these are the drains. As you can see, they're all green from the dye, basically both. Well, they're all destroyed anyway, so it's a good thing that we're doing this right now anyway, because if AC would have worked, then most likely they would just start leaking inside the car, and then you would have puddles in your floor, so the vents. And yeah, so the HVAC lines, the vacuum actuators lines, those had to be undone. I just removed a few of them so I can separate the manifold from the hoses, the pipes that go inside the engine bay. And yeah, this is what we are. Some wires had to be undone. It's a process actually. Not the greatest job ever, but it is what it is. Ripping things out is obviously easier than to put things back in. So yeah, this is gonna be a project because the pipes have to feed through these openings there, right? I didn't break anything, so because I've done this before, but it's been a while last time I did it. So anyway, here is the replacement evaporator, original bare evaporator, factory, made in Germany. Opted to go with the expensive one, and yeah. Now this is the box, HVAC box, and we have the heater core, we have the evaporator. As you can see, all green. This is all the dye, green dye. It was leaking. I don't know what was leaking, here or here. Once I take it out, I'll see better. Maybe make a video of the actual evaporator itself. So that's where we are. The HVAC box itself has to be disassembled to retrieve the evaporator, and also each and every actuator will also be tested, make sure that they all work. They used to work, they seem to work. Ideally, of course, you replace the whole, all of them while the box is out, but with the same success you can replace the whole car, right? So what's the point of doing that? Yeah, I just took this off just to make my life a little easier. I don't see a reason that I should have taken it off, but whatever, I took it off because Oh yeah, I remember now. The wires would pass over here, like to the side, and if I were to have this removed, then the wires would pass easier. So that's what I did. Heater core appears to be just attached with one screw. Very interesting. But in any event, the next step will be disassembling the HVAC box and retrieving the evaporator core, cleaning obviously, and then checking the actuators. After that, a new evaporator goes in, and then once it's installed, then I have to clean that area all around inside. I already have my steamer out. I'm gonna steam everything around there, so just might as well, right? And vacuum, of course. The vacuum cleaner is always on standby because this is the area where sun never shines. So you know, this has not seen a daylight, hasn't seen a daylight in 30 years. So yeah, might as well just clean whatever's in there. It's not that bad, but might as well. So yeah, I got a quarter laying in there, but that's gonna be after. I just need to put the box in so I can put the cowl in there and all that good stuff, so I can have no water coming in. Otherwise, if there are rains or anything, although the forecast seems to be good, but still, whatever's coming off the windshield, rain-wise, the water-wise, is gonna go straight in there. Although there is a drain, but it's just the way the car is situated, it will still get inside the vehicle. I don't want that because floors were cleaned up. And yes, I mean, I should have done this job first before doing the carpets, like clean and all that. But I'm still pretty careful, and I didn't get anything dirty, so it's just because I didn't want to clean them again. All right, so we'll continue working, and more updates are coming up. Let's take a look at the evaporator core, the old one. And this is the box, obviously. So this frontal portion I just took apart. Well, it's relatively simple, you know, a couple of bolts, couple of clips, and then the top comes off, and the evaporator can be removed upwards. So here is our old evaporator. That's original 1995 vehicle, so it's probably produced in 1994. So here you clearly see all the dye. There's even a droplet right down in there. There's a little drop which is still wet, like, you know, just because there was a little bit of gas in the system, very little, and all of that is all green dye. So there was a little bit of gas in the system, so therefore there's some, that one right there is still a little wet there. Actually, it still didn't dry up yet. So yeah, and this is the evaporator, so it's definitely a replacement needed for this one. Now this will remain on it, although I have to take this bracket off and install it onto a replacement unit. What about these pieces? That I don't remember, but whatever, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So a heater core seems okay. There's a heater core here laying. Let's put it away a little bit. It looks pretty good to me. I don't see any issues here, so I'm just gonna clean that up a little bit. Next thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take a pressure washer and I'm gonna pressure wash the internals here. Can't go too much because of the connectors here, and these are the electricals for the potentiometers to tell the climate control how far the flap moved. So that is that. These are the side flaps. These are the ones that you use the wheels for. You know, turn the wheels. These are the ones. So they're controlled slightly differently. There are potentiometers, but I just still want to hit. I still want to hit the whole box in and out. I'm gonna spray it with some detergent in there, let it soak up. Probably gonna remove the sensor here, and there's another sensor behind, not to damage these, because pressure washer, you know, still there's this sensor connector here. There is another one on the other side facing backwards there. This is going to be the front of the car. I mean the dashboard side. There's another sensor right over here. So I'll probably remove it, not to destroy it, not to damage it, because you can get to them though. It's not like you cannot replace them. They're accessible without removing the dashboard. A little rust here and there, but what are you gonna do? It's a 30-year-old piece. Still, to me, this looks actually pretty good. All right, well, I'll continue with my journey here. Okay, so after a few more hours, I mean, the sun is coming down already, I finally got the evaporator, the new evaporator core installed. I cleaned up all this assembly here, inside, outside, pressure wash, detergents, and all that good stuff. Then I also cleaned up the endpoints here just a bit with the brush, with the wire brush. So that's that. So when the pipes go through the rubbers, they will slide in fine. I also will spray a little bit of silicone. That's what I have here. So I'll spray some silicone on that so they slide in easier. The O-rings for the expansion valves, there are different sizes. So this is for the inside of the valve that go here, and then these two are for the outside where the pipes connect to the expansion valve. Now the interior here, that was steamed. I steamed it up because you can't get nowhere here because everything is so tight. I left this area for now. I'll deal with it later because I have to put the box back in there, and that would be, and then also I want to vacuum and I want to start the engine and heat it up, make sure that nothing is leaking, everything is in good order. Zip tie here I had to cut, so I put a new zip tie. I'm just waiting until the box goes in because I have to lift these wires up so it fits. As you can see, if you lift the wires up, you kind of more or less have space. You have to move the wire here from the, I believe this wire goes to the pedal switch, if I'm not mistaken, maybe, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll put it back once the box in place, because carpets move, right? So that's good. I can move the carpets left and right a little bit, not too much because you can just, you know, damage them, but that's about all I need, just a bit of space. The old evaporator and drain lines, made them out of rubber with clamps, because original ones were just foam and zip ties. These are rubber with clamps, so that's much better. Okay, put a couple of zip ties here to secure the vacuum lines. Each and every actuator was checked out for vacuum. If it holds vacuum, they all hold vacuum fine. Not even one leaks. Flaps activate, linkages aren't broken, everything's in order. So the heater core was not leaking, so I'm just keeping it as it is. It should be just fine. So that's why I want to, at least for today, I just want to make sure that everything is in order. Like the heater core is fine, and HVAC, I mean not HVAC, air conditioner system holds vacuum. I'm gonna run vacuum on it and make sure that it holds vacuum. And that's basically all for today. What else I was gonna say? Well, I guess that would be all. So let me just put this box in and spray some silicone on these pipes and put the box in. I will actually leave this piece. This came with new evaporator core, so I'm going to actually leave the cap on it, maybe just one bolt. So when it's being pushed through, the surfaces don't get scored or anything like that, because these have to fit and you have to catch the inlets over there, the rubbers. So this is kind of like an iffy situation because everything has to line up right. Plus obviously spaces of an essence is very limited, so all the wires are in place and all that, so you're gonna kind of work it up and get it in. And also you have to catch the drain hoses. Okay, after another few hours, sun is already down, it's getting dark. I have to use the flashlight here, and the box is back in place. HVAC distribution block is back in there, the vacuum distribution block. Everything seems to be in order here. Locks, you know, the releases, they're also in. I'm missing one zip tie over here. This plug is, like I said, this was for something else. It's not in use. It's a single pin, so I'm missing a zip tie over here. I have to put it on. That's all secured. The only problem I have is the drains. Drains didn't work out, so I'm gonna have to install them when the box is in place, because they were too long. Because this is not factory, obviously, so they were too long. So when I was trying to put the box back in, this whole assembly, the drains, they would hit the rebar here, so I was not able to install them. So I'm gonna try to do them now. Maybe I'm gonna shorten them out like halfway. I'm gonna squeeze them under, whatever. I'm gonna try to do it. But the and this piece is back in there. The wires are ran down the way they used to be. All of that is done. Now I'm still gonna clean up this area later, but right now the agenda for today is obviously to see some sort of a result. I think I'm going to start the engine later after I deal with the drains, but the expansion valve is in there, new O-rings are in there, and we're doing vacuum. It's been sitting here for like 20 minutes and it's still at -1 bar. This is closed, by the way. All right, so that is good news. Now, so the vacuum situation, I'm gonna leave the vacuum out and see how fast we get it back up. All right, so this is the vacuum from the system. The vacuum is pumping from here. As you can see, if I close the port, I'm getting vacuum to drop really quickly. All right, so we're going to connect this pipe, the system, back to the vacuum machine, and then we'll look how quickly it vacuums. And it's actually very fast. That is good. It's already -12, -15, and like in a matter of seconds it's vacuumed up. This is -20. Excuse me. And it's gonna take a little longer to get to -30, which is -1 bar, but this is quick, and that is nice. So that is good. All right, just that is to be, you know, that's what I like to see. I like to see that. Okay, so basically right now I'm calling today. It's about time to go inside. It's midnight and I have my cluster. I'm running the engine. It's very hot. I have the heat on. Put the climate control on real quick just to get the heat to be maximum. Oh, it would be a little hotter. This thing too to be connected, because flaps, you know, the flaps. This thing is open, but it gives me nothing. But if I'm supposed to push the red light, yeah, I got the heat. Okay, great. I'll shut it down. I'm supposed to have the heat. Yeah, it shut down. So the vacuums work. So the box is back in place. Heater core, I smell no coolant, so all of that is good. Now there is a problem. Oh, there's a problem here with the high pressure switch. Those things is just laying there. They're not secured because there's still things to be, you know, done right. The engine is extremely hot, and here is the problem. Here's another issue. all green, high pressure switch blew up. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually replace the dryer, right, the whole thing, might as well, and the high pressure switch for that matter, because it blew up big time. All of this is all green, and that's bad news, so that's to be done. But on the other hand, I have vacuum, perfect vacuum, that is good, and I'm just running the car just to blow off all the residual inside the exhaust, because it's been sitting for so many years. Temperature is sitting right, it's not overheating, and that's without electric fans, just regular fans, you know, the fan, the metal fan, mechanical fan rather. Just put this on, let's just feel it out. Yeah, oh yeah, that's hot, all right. So that's what I wanted to do today, because we get the box installed and call it a day. Now another thing I did is I only did one side, but I'll do the other side later. The drains are a pain. These are the drain tubes. So I got one in, the other one is not in yet, but I'll do it tomorrow. But I want to do it when I have the car switched around, because I want to open this door and work when this door is wide open, versus like well, it is what it is. I'm just saying, this is just my situation. That drain is not in place yet. That's the area where the drains are. I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but I managed to get the other side in, so I'll get this side in as well. That's not a problem. Oh, okay, so I'm all beat up for today. I'm gonna, well, the cluster being put in there just to monitor the temperature, because I want to see the temperature. And now I'm gonna close the roof, go inside, and call it a day. So this is where we are at the moment. It's coming along good, but you know, the switch over there, it is what it is. So this is all for now. This is another day working on this 500 SL. Victor here at RestoringMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.